This morning, the latest from the Middle East as Israel announced a 24-hour evacuation notice. Hamas announced that hostages had been killed in Israeli bombings.
All of this playing out as Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to meet with Arab leaders to ensure the fighting does not spread. NBC's Bree Jackson is now live for us in the nation's capital with more details. Bree, good morning.
Good morning. So U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is visiting Israel today to determine what military aid is needed to help in their war with Hamas. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is meeting with senior officials in Jordan. As the war between Israel and Hamas militants rages on, the Biden administration is working with regional partners on efforts to help prevent this conflict from spreading.
What we've seen here is something to most of us almost unimaginable.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken arriving in Jordan this morning. He was on the ground in Israel Thursday, getting a first-hand look at the aftermath of Saturday's surprise attack, delivering a message of support to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and survivors.
The outpouring of support has been incredible in the United States, and again, it's very, very heartfelt, and you can count on it.
As the fighting continues, the Biden administration says it's working to get Americans out of harm's way.
The United States government will arrange charter flights to provide transportation from Israel to sites in Europe.
In Washington, D.C. Thursday night, lawmakers held a vigil on the steps of the U.S. Capitol to remember the lives lost, standing in solidarity with Israel while strongly condemning the assault by Hamas.
Because we cannot let these terrorists, this ISIS-like, Nazi-like people win.
The U.S. is considering providing more resources to help Israel, complicating the matter, uncertainty over who will be the next House Speaker. And the clock is ticking for the House to elect a new speaker. Among other things, new aid for Israel could be tied up as this fight drags on. Members of Congress will receive a classified briefing on the situation in Israel next week. Maureen.
All right, Bree Jackson live for us. Thank you for the update. We'll check back in with you later this morning. Meanwhile, a former Hamas leader living in Qatar is calling for a worldwide day of anger today. Because of that, police across the U.S. and here in Northeast Ohio are stepping up patrols of synagogues and Jewish businesses. NBC News reports when calls like this have happened in the past, it has led to unrest in the West Bank and Gaza, but not in the U.S. Coming up at 5:30, Austin Love is going to join us live with the latest on social media warnings coming in and how it's affecting Northeast Ohio.